We have the owner of the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym with us here today, a man I have known since kindergarten at Loveland Elementary School.
The glory days.
Can I say the 1970s?
Yeah, you can age us. That's okay.
Been a while. 1974, kindergarten, Loveland Elementary School. Craig, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be back on with you guys. And, you know, I'm sitting here thinking this morning, Trenton, Jeff always does such a great job interviewing you or introducing you. You know, you need like a Robin Williams, Good Morning Vietnam kind of call sign, right?
I let him be the big voice guy.
Good morning,
since he does
Vietnam.
since he does most of the work on the show and everything, I don't want him to think. I don't want to outshine him.
Okay. Well, you're very funny, and people just need to know that. But
now you're making us both fat-headed, Craig. But Craig, we first of all appreciate you being a sponsor of Grow Omaha, and we're very impressed with everything that you and your business partner, your wife Tiffany, are doing with cheer athletics. And what a lot of people don't realize is that you are just into youth sports, period. Yeah, you have a business, cheer athletics. Yeah, you have AEF Basketball Academy. But youth sports, even beyond your two businesses, have become a passion for you. And from our Grow Omaha Economic Development advocacy position, we applaud you for that, because we know that youth sports are a huge industry, and kind of our theme today is that Nebraska is missing out on its share of the youth sports industry, and we need to do more to tap into this gravy train that's out there. But first of all, start off a little bit by telling us what drives your passion for youth sports and how big the industry is.
Sure. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be here and talk a little bit about this. And, yes, I'm a owner of 2 youth sports organizations, but more than anything, I'm a voice for kids. And being in the youth sports world, I've gotten an opportunity to get to know and talk to a lot of other leaders in the youth sports area, whether it's baseball, soccer, basketball, hockey, volleyball, even tennis. And as I talk to these people and listen to parents that are in those sports, that have athletes in those sports, or that parents that have athletes in those sports, they all say, we don't have facilities. And I could, we could go into deep detail, but for time's sake, let me just lay the groundwork for how big this industry is. Back in 2008, it was a $10 billion industry, youth sports. In 2024, the youth sports industry was a $44 billion industry, and these stats are coming from Metastat. It's projected to go to $86 billion by 2031. And why is youth sports so important? I think we all kind of know these, but I'm just going to lay those out there. It keeps kids off their phone, keeps them active.
Minecraft.
It's structured environment. They learn teamwork, life skills above all, right? How to overcome adversity in those challenging moments. So it's a great opportunity with the right mentors. But then for the great citizens of Nebraska, there's an opportunity here by lawmakers investing into sports facilities that we can bring in revenue, outside revenue. I'll give you an example. The Slump Buster tournament that is around the College World Series should be America's biggest baseball tournament, because it's a celebration of baseball here with 8 teams from around the country. Everybody comes to Omaha.
Is that 80 or 8?
8 teams.
I thought there was a ton more, but okay.
No, in the College World Series.
In the College World Series.
Oh, I thought you were talking the Slump Busters is like
so the College
teams.
World Series brings 8 teams, but the Slump Buster on social media boards out there, if you go on them, there is a lot of negative feedback because Omaha just doesn't have baseball fields. I have a friend of mine who plays youth baseball. His Nebraska State baseball tournament is played in Iowa. And so when you look at youth sports as a whole, there is just such an opportunity for lawmakers to be educated, as they have a responsibility, I believe, to the citizens of Nebraska to invest in the next generation and use our tax dollars that we pay a lot to Nebraska, right? That Those tax dollars should be into sports facilities where we can help offset our tax base as well and give our next generation of kids an opportunity to learn a lot of things. Cooperstown Village in New York, they have a baseball tournament, brings in $95 million to the local economy. And so, this is just something I'm really passionate about. I've teamed up with Jeff Week, who's here in the studio this morning, and I want Jeff to talk about his mission. He's been in this a lot longer than I have. Together, I think we're starting to educate lawmakers. We've had meetings in Lincoln, but we need the public behind this. That is such an opportunity, especially parents with athletes.
And Jeff is the owner of EMJ Consulting, which specializes in sports feasibility and economic development. And Jeff, we appreciate you being here. Why don't we start off our chat with you about maybe you can just talk quickly about what you do and a little bit about where we're at with youth sports in Nebraska today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. This is an important topic to kind of get out among the people, your listeners. We in Nebraska have a very unique situation. In May of 2021, LB 39 was passed. It's the Sports Arena Facility Financing Assistance Act, SAFFAA, as it relates to sports complexes. Each community has a level of participation they need to get involved with. So bigger cities like Omaha need to provide 12 to qualify. But what you get to do is create a 600-yard district around your sports complex and collect the state sales tax. Not all of it, 70% of it, that would come back. But not existing, only new. So when I say new, that means if we're going to build a complex or develop a complex, we need to get a development partner with us and have them bring a hotel or fast food or strip retail that would generate sales tax so we can pay for not all. I mean, in crazy terms, you could get all of it paid for, but it's not going to be paid for. It's going to be a minimal amount. Then you have to get a vote of the people. You have to get the bond that the city would issue backed and sold, vetted. So, there's lots of hoops to jump through. Right now, we have two projects basically sitting on the governor's desk. One is in Norfolk. The other one's a different kind of project, but Norfolk is the one that I'm currently working on. And the governor needs to give, with his 5-member panel, governor plus 4 others, need to give a temporary approval so we can actually go to the citizens and make sure that they're okay with how we would do it. The applications are usually done by a co-applicant, a political subdivision like a city or a county, and a not-for-profit organization.
So what Jeff is talking about is referred to as turnback financing. And we're going to get into a little bit about this and how it can help Omaha and Gretna and Papillion and all these towns in Nebraska build bigger and better and greater sports facilities so we can tap into this multi-billion-dollar industry. We have Craig Wolf, owner of Cheer Athletics, with us and one of our key sponsors of Grow Omaha. And he was teamed up with Jeff Week, who is the owner of EMJ Consulting, a consulting firm that specializes in sports feasibility and sports economic development. And Jeff, we're going to continue with you. When we left off, we were talking about turnback financing, a relatively new concept in Nebraska, a few years old, designed to help us develop sports facilities and allow Nebraska to tap into the multi-billion-dollar youth sports industry. But Jeff, turnback financing is catching a little bit of heat right now. Why is that? And is it related to our state of Nebraska budget shortfall?
Well, it really is. It's interesting where the governor is looking at things that can be cut. So we need all the sales tax we can get. It's really important. But we framed this law when it passed in May of 2021 so that only new retail that comes within the turnback district gets captured by the complex. That's what's unique about it. We wouldn't take incremental or anything outside, even though the sports complex would be a destination for people outside the city or the county. We don't get to capture it. So as an example, we have a project in Norfolk. Norfolk has a 600-yard district. We have an application into the governor. They're worried that we would lose sales tax because there's a Walmart next door. But guess what? We don't get the Walmart. We've never calculated the Walmart. But when people come to that district, they will be shopping at the Walmart. It is inevitable. So the point is, it's an earned incentive. And I've said it repeatedly. This is a unique situation where it's earned. You have to bring your team there. And if your team can't perform, then guess what? You don't have anything. And if you can't sell the bond, if or the lease agreement doesn't work, we have a Department of Revenue. It's not economic development, it's revenue. And we want to make sure that we provide enough vetting so that nobody's on the hook. I mean, we do something smart. Now, there is an aspect of this law that got passed last year where a smaller city, like a second class or a village, can actually use 5 years of the sales tax from the city limits. Ashland is working on a project. Valley has a project. We've heard of projects in West Point and some other smaller communities. Well, the point of that would be you have 5 years. It's going to help the community because we're filling these sports complexes with kids in our communities. That's what's important to me. Monday through Thursday use, the weekend tournament use is economic development, and that's going to come. But ultimately, we're serving our own kids. To me, that's the reason the bill is, or the law is the law.
And so if we have any pressure or any heat that youth sports or the turnback financing mechanism is facing right now, it almost seems like it might be short-term thinking, being penny wise and pound foolish, in that some people are saying, well, maybe we could save a little bit of money right now, but when you think about the benefit that we have for developing youth sports facilities at a relatively low cost, it seems like a really responsible way of growing what we have in our quality of life without making a big burden on the taxpayers.
So if we make a cut, so say the governor decides, hey, I'm not going to put these through because we're going to save the sales tax. And Craig will attest to this. We have a project in Gretna where he has 2 projects and associated. You want to step in here and say what you're going to do in Gretna? I mean, he has 2 hotels, an event center, he has restaurants, and he has 2 youth sports complexes. We're not going to pay for all of the sports complexes, the not-for-profit that would own the asset. But guess what? We're going to have all that stuff come. If Craig doesn't come, or we can't get that earned incentive, then the hotel and the event center and all the other stuff, it's dirt.
It's not
Craig
gonna
has
come.
dirt.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, give us the chance to show that we can do it. Don't stop it before we even get the chance to prove that we can actually do it, if that makes sense.
And so owning the 2 clubs, we have to have facilities, right? So we have 2 buildings, and I lease both the buildings, one for basketball, one for cheer. My payment to the lease companies for combined payout is $41,000 a month. It is insane. That's what I'm paying out of pocket, and what my parents have to pay to help me sustain that. I mean, we're really today a not-for-profit because you have the $41,000, but then I have to pay the staff.
You're talking about your student athletes' parents.
The parents.
Your parents,
Yes.
I don't think are still paying you.
Yeah, correct. But we have to pay for tournaments in basketball. We have to pay for competitions in cheer. We have great staff at both AEF as well as cheer. And, they deserve to be well paid because we need great coaches to invest in kids. And so
let me add one other thing. The reason this tool helps the sports world and the not-for-profits that do it is because we're at market or below on registrations and on fees and on admissions. If we don't have that extra a little bit of help that we need, then ultimately you're going to have the same pricing you have at some of these for-profit entities. We don't want that. We want to break down the barriers and let every kid play. The governor sent out a great press release about girls basketball, the state tournament for girls basketball, and how important that is. We believe that too. We just need to get on the same page and help them understand that this is the responsibility of the political subdivision and the state to at least help. If it doesn't impact property tax or raise taxes in a community, there is no reason why we shouldn't be given the chance to prove that we can do what we can do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in perpetuating and growing and protecting youth sports and making Nebraska more competitive, talk to your elected officials and let them know how important it is to you. But with that said, Craig Wolf and Jeff Week, we appreciate you guys joining us, and have a great weekend.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.